Hello, Coolers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest updates. We start with Spain national team manager Luis Enrique, who in a recent interview talks Messi, David Villa, Busquets, Fati, Pedri, Balde, Puyol, and many other interesting topics. We are going to be discussing on everything the manager had to say as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barcelona are set to closely follow four right back targets at the World Cup tournament. We're also going to be discussing on that. So, guys, before we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Luis Enrique, in his usual charismatic style, hosted his first Twitch streaming session today ahead of the World Cup. The Spanish manager had promised the fans that he will be doing this regularly during the tournament for the fans, giving insight into their games, the players, and much more. For his first stream, Lucio did not focus too much on the tactical nuances of the team, but more on the personnel. He tried to answer questions from the fans in the chat while making jokes and sharing personal experiences. One of the first things he was asked about was Alejandro Balde's late call-up following Jose Galla's injury in training. He said, "Balde is very young but has a lot of quality. The whole group will help him settle into the team. He's a great player," Enrique said. Predictably, he was asked about his favorites for the World Cup, and thereon he listed Brazil, Argentina, France, Germany, Spain, England, Netherlands, maybe Belgium. I'm not original. If Spain don't win the World Cup, I would like Argentina to win it because of Messi. It would be unfair for Messi to retire without winning a World Cup. Same goes for Luis Suarez at Uruguay, he added. Fans were curious about the Spanish team dynamics and who the biggest jokester in the squad is. He said, "Pedri, with his accent and the way he talks. Alba is making jokes all day long, but he always supports everyone. Ferran does the same as Pedri. Gavi also loves to make jokes. In the end, Busquets is the one who controls all of them." Speaking of Busquets, Lucho also revealed how Spain select jersey numbers for the players, which has always confused fans. Gavi, for example, would don the number 9 while being a central midfielder. He said, "I don't decide on the selection of the shirt numbers. A list I made, ranging from the players who have played the most games for Spain to those who have played the least. Busquets was the first to pick. The Spanish national team, especially during the 2008 to 2012 period, saw some of the best footballers of all time at the peak of their powers. Xavi, Andres Iniesta, Sergio Busquets, David Villa, Sergio Ramos, Iker Casillas, Gerard Piqué, among many others. It would be next to impossible and also unfair to pick one of them or someone else as the best player for La Roja." Lucio, however, did not hesitate much before choosing Villa, Spain's top scorer ever, as the greatest player to don the red. He said, "The best player in the history of the Spanish national team. There are many of them, but I would say David Villa." Lucio was also asked if he would play FIFA 23 with one of the players from the national team live on Twitch. Unfortunately, that will not happen, but he did share an anecdote from the playing days. He said, "I used to play a lot of PlayStation with Ivan de la Pena and Puyol. We look everything seriously. Ivan, Puyol, and I would get together to have a few drinks and play video games." Great words there from Luis Enrique, of course, who is preparing seriously for the World Cup with his squad, of course, which will be something interesting to see how the Barcelona players there, perform. And ahead of the game, he had this very interesting this interview in his Twitch channel, talking about the team and how they are preparing for the World Cup. So let's see how Spain is going to do for this World Cup, how they are going to perform. Of course, Luis Enrique had sometimes come under some serious criticism for going to big tournaments without really doing their best. But they have the squad. I think they have the squad to do well in this World Cup. But there are many surprises. Things always happen in the World Cup. There's no World Cup that passes without surprises. So let's see if Luis Enrique can take this team all the way to the finals and win it since 2010, or they'll disappoint the fans. Let's see how it's gonna look like. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. The FIFA World Cup 2022 is just a day away from kicking off in Qatar, and Barcelona will be watching the tournament closely, given that the La Liga leaders have as many as 17 players representing their respective nations in Qatar. At the same time, with the January transfer window looming, Barca will also have an eye on players who they can target for the winter in order to bolster their ranks. The right back position has emerged as a key priority for Xavi Hernandez and co. heading into the mid-season break due to the unconvincing performances of Hector Bellerin. And Mundo Deportivo is now reporting that Barcelona will be closely following as many as 4 right backs as potential targets throughout the World Cup in Qatar. Diogo Dalot of Manchester United will be at the tournament representing Portugal, and is a player that Barcelona have on their list. The 23-year-old is seen as one of the top targets at Spotify Camp Nou due to his age, experience, and contract situation. Indeed, Dalot's contract with Manchester United expires at the end of the season, and even though the Red Devils are likely to trigger a unilateral one-year extension, the right back could still be available for a reasonable price. Then another right back is Thomas Meunier, another name that Barca intend to track at the World Cup. The 31-year-old Belgian international was linked with a move to Barcelona last summer, but Borussia Dortmund's €15 million asking price became a barrier. Joan Foyt, meanwhile, was Barca's second choice in the summer behind Cesar Azpilicueta. However, an injury late in the transfer window meant a move did not materialize. The Villarreal and Argentina right back, is back to full fitness and will be taking part in the World Cup, where Barcelona plan to follow him closely, with reports indicating that the 24-year-old is the current priority for Xavi. Lastly, Barca will also have their sights set on Bayern Munich and France defender Benjamin Pavard. The 26-year-old has opened the door for an exit from Allianz Arena recently, and with his contract expiring in 2024, could be available for an affordable price. However, the 2018 FIFA World Cup winner, who has primarily played at right back for Bayern, sees himself as a centre-back moving forward in his career, which could be a roadblock for Barca. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye for now.